welcome to the daily English news program on Azərbaycan Television with the most important events of the day. I'm your host, İlham. On November 28th, Moscow, the Kremlin, Putin program aired on Russia's Russia 1 TV channel, broadcast an interview with President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham Aliyev, at the Sochi airport, taken during the president's working visit to the Russian Federation.
We viewed this very positively in Azerbaijan. I said this at today's meeting. Russia plays a very important role in the normalization of relations between Armenia and Azerbaijan. This is evidenced by the joint statement adopted at the end of the meeting on the steps taken to open transport networks and prepare the delimitation commission for work. Azerbaijan has repeatedly raised all these issues and Russia has always supported them. Therefore, today's meeting is very important.
The Economic Cooperation Organization is one of the international platforms for cooperation with which Azerbaijan attaches great importance. The statements made by the heads of state at the recent summit of the organization in Ashgabat and the declaration adopted will have a significant impact on the deepening of relations between member countries and the transition to a new level of quality.
Founded in 1964 and re-established in 1985 with increasing membership, the Economic Cooperation Organization is becoming one of the organizations that plays a special role in the system of international relations. Azerbaijan is an active member of the organization and attaches great importance to strengthening ties with the Union and regularly puts forward initiatives of a global nature. The 15th summit of the member states in Ashgabat, the capital of Turkmenistan, showed the need for effective cooperation on this platform in the fight against global threats. Speaking at the event, President Ilham Aliyev said that official Baku is particularly interested in the development of economic relations at the Union level. The achievements of our country in the economic sphere showed that there are great prospects in this area.
Over the past 18 years, the economy of Azerbaijan has developed rapidly and the gross domestic product increased more than 3 times. Azerbaijan has achieved a favorable investment climate as a result of large-scale reforms. Azerbaijan is placed 28th out of 190 countries in the World Bank's Doing Business report. Around $280 billion has been invested in Azerbaijan economy, half of which is foreign investment.
Azerbaijan also attaches importance to the establishment of working mechanisms in the format of the Economic Cooperation Organization. Azerbaijan is one of the most effective countries in the world in the fight against COVID-19. At present, more than 60% of the population has been vaccinated with 2 doses. Almost $3 billion of socio-economic stimulus package has been released to support COVID-affected people and business in the country. As chairman of the non-aligned movement, President Ilham Aliyev is also a staunch supporter of the organization of the international fight against coronavirus and vaccine nationalism in this matter.
Azerbaijan is taking significant steps to mobilize global efforts against the pandemic. We have persistently stressed our firm opposition against vaccine nationalism. This year, upon Azerbaijan's initiative in its capacity as the chair of the non-aligned movement, resolutions on ensuring equitable access for all countries to vaccines were adopted at the UN Human Rights Council and the UN General Assembly, respectively.
Along with Turkey, Pakistan and other countries, Uzbekistan is closely involved in the reconstruction work in the territories of Azerbaijan, liberated from 30 years of occupation. At the summit, President Ilham Aliyev also stressed the importance of the historic victory over Armenia.
The 44-day-long patriotic war resulted in Armenia's defeat and they were forced to sign an act of capitulation on 10 November 2020. Azerbaijan restored its territorial integrity. Azerbaijan itself ensured the implementation of the UN Security Council resolutions of 1993, demanding immediate, complete and unconditional withdrawal of the armed forces of Armenia from the occupied territories of Azerbaijan.
To eliminate the bitter consequences of 30 years of Armenian vandalism, the Azerbaijani state is carrying out large-scale construction work in Karabakh. Members of the Economic Cooperation Organization expressed their interest to actively participate in the reconstruction process. Official Baku believes that the role of this union will be irreplaceable in support of Azerbaijan's just position at the international level.
The founding meeting of the Network of Parliaments of the Non-Aligned Movement, initiated by President Ilham Aliyev, was held in Madrid. At the event, with the participation of up to 200 representatives of about 50 countries, it was emphasized that Azerbaijan had stepped up the activities of the non-aligned movement.
Created during the Cold War when great powers turned the planet into a battlefield, the non-aligned movement is returning to world politics 60 years later. Speaker of the Milli Majlis, Sahiba Ghafarova, noted in her speech that today humanity is going through extremely difficult times. The growth of discrimination, racism, political tension accompanied by ignorance of international law in crisis, still ongoing COVID-19 pandemic makes it necessary to mobilize the entire world community in a spirit of international cooperation and solidarity. The speaker added that Azerbaijan fulfills its duties systematically and effectively in this direction. President İlham Aliyev, as chairman of the non-aligned movement, comes up with successful global initiatives.
Organizing a summit-level meeting of the
In connection with COVID-19 crisis, the organization of the summit of the contact group of the non-aligned movement, the creation of a unified database on the basic humanitarian and medical needs of the member states of the structure in the fight against pandemics, the convening of a special session of the UN General Assembly to discuss COVID-19, adoption by the UN Council of Human Rights resolutions to ensure access to COVID-19 vaccines for all countries are just a few examples of the measures taken. The parliamentary network established today is another important step towards solving the problems of humanity.
The participants of the founding conference stressed that during the presidency of Azerbaijan, the movement is going through a period of its revival. The initiative of President İlham Aliyev to create a network of parliaments meets the challenges of the time. It was noted that such a network creates new opportunities for dialogue within the framework of parliamentary diplomacy. Azerbaijan is our great friend. There is mutual understanding between the two countries in all areas. This initiative of Azerbaijan is designed to ensure solidarity in the fight against modern threats such as COVID-19, climate change and Islamophobia. It is with great pleasure that we support this proposal and take part in the conference. We intend to expand the interparliamentary ties of our states, both within the framework of the non-aligned movement and in a bilateral format. This is a very progressive idea. The Arab Parliament reacted immediately to this initiative, and we unanimously stated that Arab states will be represented on the network of parliaments of the non-aligned movement. In the last few years, the movement has entered an active phase. The network created today at the initiative of Azerbaijan will make it possible to effectively use parliamentary diplomacy in solving many global problems. Chairman of the Interparliamentary Union, Duarto Pacheco, Secretary General of the organization, Martin Chunkong, Chairman of the Turkish Grand National Assembly, Mustafa Şentop, and other speakers expressed confidence that the network of parliaments will contribute to the establishment of peace and stability in the world. At the end of the conference, the Madrid Declaration on the establishment of the network of parliaments of the non-aligned movement was adopted. It was also decided to hold the next meeting of the network in Baku. Chair of the Milli Majlis, Sahiba Ghafarova, also met in Madrid with the chairman of the Arab Parliament, Abdel bin Abdulrahman al-Asumi. Congratulated Azerbaijan on last year's victory in the patriotic war and the establishment of the network of parliaments of the non-aligned movement. Adel al-Asumi said that the organization will provide all kinds of support to the network of parliaments. Sahiba Ghafarova, in her turn, spoke about the initiatives put forward by Azerbaijan to ensure peace and security in the world, the implementation of joint measures to combat global problems. The meeting also exchanged views on the victory of Azerbaijan in the patriotic war and the new situation in the region after it. Also, a meeting was held between the delegations of the Milli Majlis and the National Assembly of Pakistan. The parties stressed the great importance of the strategic partnership between Azerbaijan and Pakistan. Speaker Sahiba Ghafarova noted that high-level relations create a basis for expanding cooperation between legislative bodies, recalling that the official visit of the chairman of the National Assembly of Pakistan, Asad Gaiser, to our country was marked by important events. Chair of the Azerbaijani Parliament noted that the Memorandum of Understanding signed between the Milli Majlis and the National Assembly of Pakistan is of historical importance. In his turn, Asad Gaiser noted that the position of Pakistan is unchanged. His country has always supported and will continue to support the fair position of Azerbaijan, its sovereignty and territorial integrity.
Maritime Action Agency of Azerbaijan presented weekly data on the operations carried out in the territories liberated from the occupation. According to the report, from 22nd to 27th of November, 1 anti-personnel, 36 anti-tank mines and 14 unexploded ordnances were detected and neutralized in Tartar, Ağdam, Füzuli, Shusha, Gubadli, Cebrail and Zengilan regions. 50 hectares of land were cleared of mines and exploded ordnances. Theoretical and practical skills new media seminars with joint organization of Media Development Agency and ADA University Professional Development Program for young journalists kicked off. Deputy Provost of ADA University, Aygun Hacıyeva, noted that seminars and training programs for up to 6,000 diplomats and professionals representing various state agencies had been held from 2002 to 2021. Executive Director of Media Development Agency, Ahmet Ismailov, provided information on major directions of reforms undertaken in the media field. During the series of seminars titled New Skills, Same Values, 17 candidates selected among activists of Media Volunteers program will obtain theoretical knowledge on contemporary media environment, journalist values, professional ethics and code of conduct, including fundamental topics on Azerbaijan. Faculty and professors of ADA University will transfer practical skills to the participants. The seminar will continue until December 17th. 857 infections with novel coronavirus were registered in Azerbaijan. 1,091 people recovered after treatment and were released home. 26 people who earlier tested positive for COVID-19 died. The total confirmed cases in Azerbaijan have reached 586,640, with 552,815 recoveries and 7,833 deaths. The number of active infections is 26,992. Detecting new infection cases over the past day, 5,594 tests, and overall 5,526,664 tests have been conducted in Azerbaijan. The task force under the Cabinet of Ministers reported. That was all for today. Thank you for being with us and see you next time.